You're watching PEGRI TV, Rhode Island's public access channel.
Welcome everybody to the Four Corners, brought to you by the Official Wrestling Museum. We are your hosts. I am Angel, and this is the Official Wrestling Museum's Hall of Famer,
Low Life.
and we are here this week with our Four Corners. Why don't you tell them a little bit? Now, I know you guys already know. You guys are wooing every single time that we come on your TV screen or your monitors, but why don't you explain it to them?
So the Four Corners is our version of a Mount Rushmore type of show where not necessarily our four best, you know, as always I like to say,
Yep.
people think of, oh, what are your top five this, top five that? It's easy to pick your top, well, not easy to pick your top five, but we want to make it a little harder to
Yep.
pick your four instead of a fifth, so you're gonna drop one, but it doesn't have to be the best. Each corner is its own thing, and it might be, say you pick, as I like to always say, what are your top four pairs, what are your four socks like you want to throw in the corners? I might like Hanes, but I really don't like Fruit of the Loom, throw that in a corner. So it doesn't necessarily have to be the best. It's
Okay.
just what four things you want to discuss.
Okay, so this week we are talking about finishing moves, okay? And then at the end of this, we're gonna try to take our fours that become 8 and then make it into one final four for you guys. So that's always kind of fun to do and stuff. Last week, we had your tag partner. He was able to stop in and stuff before he went out this week. Man, we're doing a lot of flying. We really are. Whew.
He's going to be going to for Backlash.
Yeah.
Overseas.
Yeah, yep. I don't know how he gets his gig. You know, it's because he served our country in real life. He does, and I think that's why they give him all those great jobs. Anywho, it really got interesting once we started to like dive in, and we were starting to have different choices because we don't know each other's choices prior to this. Sometimes we don't even find out the theme till we walk in the door. To be honest with you, like today, we had no idea what today's show was about. This week here, you know, we mentioned on the other shows it's kind of a little different. We've been doing so much promotion that this is the first time we were able to get together and to film these shows and stuff. So yeah, let's jump into it. What is one of your finishing moves that you want to put in one of your corners?
So when I think of a finishing move, the first move that comes to my mind that I'm like, yeah, that's got to be in a corner is the Stone Cold Stunner.
Okay.
I think that it is like once about 96 or so when he started really using it. You know, I know it's been used by other people, the Whippersnapper, the Ace Crusher. I know the Chartbuster, the
Kevin Owens.
Kevin Owens does it now. I'm not even. I don't really like when no one does it. To be honest, I like specifically, you know. And I don't know if we're talking about specific moves by specific people. It's whatever you throw in the corner.
Right.
I'm specifically talking the Stone Cold Stunner. I know Shane Douglas even did his own version of it, but when he started just hitting people with it, you know, he hit Jerry Lawler with it. He hit Jim Ross with it. Vince McMahon, that didn't look great, but. You know, that stunner, and then it just became him coming out, stunning people. You know, simple move, but effective, looked good.
Yep.
Super over. So, I mean, yeah, without a doubt, the stunner, the Stone Cold Stunner has to go in my corner first.
That's good. That wasn't one of mine, but
I'm surprised,
It
'cause
would
I
have
thought
had to
it
be
would
an
be.
honorable mention.
Okay.
There is one that So my first was going to be somebody else, but I will save that just because you brought this up. I'm going to go with the RKO.
Okay, RKO is also
It is
RKO
similar.
Diamond Cutter. You know, I was going to talk about, do we want to add that as one move, because they are similar, but they are different.
Well,
But
yeah,
it is
'cause
on
if
mine
you
too.
think-
So
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Because, Austin is dropping to his butt.
Yeah.
Okay. And everything else is to your back. And as much as I liked how DDP did the Diamond Cutter, and it was always that move, it was like, oh my God, it was like that full picture. The way Orton just does it, not even his setup for it. I don't care about him banging on the ground. Just the way he hits it, and he can literally hit it out of any place. It's so seamless. I mean,
I
flawless.
I
Like,
would say RKO Diamond Cutter is, I would count it as both. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, it is
Yeah,
done.
the cutter.
Yeah.
We could just call it the cutter.
I guess.
I mean, it's so many. It's been.
It's been done by a whole
Yeah.
bunch
Now
of
it's
people.
so many people do it. It's
Yeah.
very much, but like, there's RKO. It just feels different when so and so does it. When Randy Orton does it,
Yeah.
it feels like a finish.
Yeah.
Every other guy does it, it's not a finish. When he does it, it is a finish.
True.
But going, even bringing it up, because I had it in my head as RKO Diamond Cutter. DDP, when he first started doing it, it was cool, and then he started doing it. He was the one that really started doing, he can hit you from this position and that position and this position.
Yeah.
Randy Orton took it to the next level where it became out of nowhere, or
Well, that's the
Carlito would
thing.
jump out, spring off the top,
Yep.
or Evan Bourne's doing a shooting star press or something, and he catches him.
Yeah,
Or the
but-
Seth Rollins one from Mania, that was one of the most memorable.
But now you're saying, absolutely. But now you're seeing how memorable these out of nowhere spots and they are. It's phenomenal. But then you stop and look at how DDP used to do it, and he used to just walk around with your head right there.
He would. It was very.
You know what I
it was,
mean?
but
And
he
was very
invented it. It was
showman,
very.
and he was able to
yeah.
drop. And when he dropped, though, with that, it was so devastating, his drop, that it just, oh my God. Like, okay, this guy should have been able to kick out because he was walking around with them. But man, he just dropped them.
And if you look back too, because we got a little bit of time to spend now, because like
Yeah.
I said, that was on my list too.
Yep.
So obviously that's making it to the final corner. But if you look at when DDP was doing it, like you said, he was kind of getting him. He'd walk a little bit, but then he started to do it like he'd put the guy on the top rope and do it. They were
Yeah.
still very basic though, very slow, very basic.
Yep.
They weren't what Randy Orton brought them to. That's why I said
Yeah.
Randy Orton took it to the next level. But DDP he'd have a guy up in a fire miscarry and
And
spin
swing
him
him, yep.
like a TKO. And I think two of the more memorable Diamond Cutters, him hitting the Macho Man when he hit the Macho Man at I believe it was a Spring Stampede when Macho Man ran in. It wasn't even a match, I don't believe, and they were just, it set up their feud. And I also think that when he was dressed up as La Parka against the Macho Man, just DDP.
Yeah.
I mean, we're gonna have to go over feuds. That'll be one of our corners.
It's definitely
'Cause,
that's gonna be
yeah,
a
DDP
tough one.
Macho Man. But I remember a story DDP would tell, and it was about the match they were gonna have, and they're talking about the finish to the match, and he's like, I think, and he was talking about the Macho Man, and he said the Macho Man would be in the locker room, and he was just like, I think I want to take the Diamond Cutter tonight. And DDP was like floored that Macho Man would put him over, but not only put him over, take his finish too, and not kick out of it. But just to think, I think I'm going to take the Diamond Cutter tonight. Ooh.
Right?
So yeah, I would include the RKO Diamond Cutter as
Okay.
one.
So if that's let's say your second pick, maybe it wasn't going to be a second pick. Let's go with my second pick.
Okay.
Okay. And because you brought him up in your conversation, Macho Man's elbow off the top rope.
You know, it's on my list. That's why. No, it's fine. It's how it works sometimes.
Yeah.
But that's why I was gonna say, I don't know if we're picking specific moves. I knew, like, for me,
Well, right.
Some moves don't have to be that specific person. It just works
Well, when
out.
we came
that-
in today, they're
that-
like, okay, this is what we want to do. It was even a fast meeting. They're like, all right, your four corners, you guys doing finishing moves. They're like, okay. And then I remember us walking into this room here. We're like, but what do they want with that though?
Yeah.
Like, are they looking at like singles, tag teams?
Right.
Devastating, just one person. And it was like, all right, guys, we're getting ready to jump on camera because our schedules are so tight right now. And it's like, but something about the way Macho's elbow was flawless every single time it was so devastating that you believed he just like took your head off.
Yeah, he just the way he did it, and he would have that elbow, and yeah, I mean, yeah, it was.
It reminded
It was
me
a thing
like
of
in
beauty.
a video game or something that all of a sudden here's the glitch and here he is and he's just floating. Boom.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So
Or-
where you were just talking about, I don't know if they wanted us to do tag team. I kind of thought in my head, I was like, I know that there's some tag team finishers,
Yeah.
but I kind of left them out because I was like, that could probably be another possible.
That could be,
four
you know what I
corners
mean? Yeah.
Itself. So I
Yep.
did go with just the solo, but yeah,
I was
talking
going with
about the
your
Macho Man's
solos,
elbow
too.
drop. I mean, some of the most memorable elbow drops he dropped. Ricky Steamboat dropping some nice. I mean, do you know what killed me is when he dropped it on Hogan at WrestleMania 5, and when he dropped it on Hogan, Hogan immediately.
got up right away and hooked up.
It's like what?
Yeah.
But his elbow drop was fantastic. I mean,
But don't get me wrong.
I played WWE 2K, and I love picking him just to drop that elbow.
But you gotta, when Hogan popped up though, that was like what? You know, you knew Hogan was gonna get Hulk up anyway.
Yeah.
But off Macho Man's elbow and right up, like
Remember at WrestleMania, was it 6 or 7 when he wrestled? It was 6, I think. Was it 6 or 7? Where he wrestled Warrior in the retirement match. And,
it was 7 because 6
7?
was Hogan and
okay,
Warrior.
yeah. I'm sorry, yeah. 6 was Macho and Dusty.
Yep.
And Sherry and Sapphire didn't show up. But yeah, he wrestled Warrior and he dropped like 5. And I remember at the time being younger and being
Yep.
like, just watching like, oh my God, there's
Yep.
no way Ultimate Warrior's kicking out. He just dropped like 5 elbow drops. That was like death,
Yeah.
you know?
Yep.
So yeah, so I have 3 already, man.
So okay.
So
then-
already we know in the finals
Yeah,
that
we-
the RKO is going, and we know Macho Man's elbow drop is going.
So we'll go with my third because yours was introduced. I'm gonna go with the sharpshooter from Bret Hart.
I was curious, you know, it's harder for a submission move to make it, I think, but if I was to pick a submission hold, it probably would have been the sharpshooter. Now, are you talking specifically Bret Hart, or
Well,
because Sting
this-
did it? You know, it was the
Yeah.
Scorpion, and like The
So-
Rock does a very, very bad version.
Owens wasn't too bad, okay, but I think Bret is the staple of it, and I think it's the best one. Just the way his stances, the way he delivers the move, it's very hard to break. You know what I mean? And it wasn't that many people that ever broke his move and was able to reverse it. You
Not
know
until
what I mean?
not with Brett, but not until later years when it doesn't matter where the guy puts the submission. Even if he puts it in the center of the ring, they
Yeah.
get to the ropes. But at that time, right when Brett would throw that sharpshooter on, it was pretty
always
much a
looked
wrap.
too- yeah, well, that was the thing because you're like, well, how is that really bothering them? You know what I mean? And you would think a Boston Crab would have hurt more. You know what I mean? But if you never been in a sharpshooter that's locked on properly, you wouldn't know that there is a lot of pain with your legs crossing to your knees, to your back. If you already worked a long match, you know, and you got to think too the traveling process and how you got this. So your joints are hurting.
Very similar to like Dean Malenko do the Texas Cloverleaf.
Yeah.
I really like that. Very similar.
too.
But Brett, yeah, when you talk about the sharpshooter, like I said, Brett, The Rock does it now, and you know Cesaro does a nice one.
Yep.
Natalia does it, which obviously you know she has the right to.
Yeah.
But there are so many people that do it, and they just Sergeant Stryker
Yes.
does the sharpshooter.
Yeah.
So and he does a good one. I can tell you firsthand. It's a good one.
Yeah,
Just
I remember that,
watch
July 29th.
Yeah. But yeah, you know what? I'm not upset with that pick. Like I said, if I was to pick, there are other submission holds, but
Yeah.
the sharpshooter I think is
You know,
cream of the crop.
if we're talking submissionals, and this isn't one of my picks,
honorable
CrossFace
mention?
Chicken Ring.
by
Honorable
well,
mention, yeah, by Bob
Bob
Backlund.
Backlund.
And I don't know, the move itself it's very easy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But the way Bob Backlund will just lock it in the person that he is was just, it made you believe like this dude was a nut. You know what I mean?
So that's your third one, right?
That's my third. So we each have one more.
Okay, so again, when you're trying to pick a fourth, you're trying to narrow it down. I have it. So all our moves, as
I don't
most,
think we're gonna agree with this one. Like, I think we might agree.
I
I
don't-
think I might agree with yours. I don't know if you're gonna. Think
I don't
of
think
mine,
you're going to agree with me on this
but-
one because I was just going to say, as most of our picks are older picks, I always do try to throw in maybe a newer pick. And,
All right, so we're on a different
Okay.
spectrum.
and it's hard because there's so many finishes. There's so many finishes I want to pick. But when I watch wrestling, and when I watch it with my son, and one of our favorite moments is when Bronson Reed climbs up to the top and hits the tsunami. To me, you know, a lot of big guys have done some splashes. You know, Earthquake has done it. Yoko's done one. You know, Vader with his incredible moonsault for a guy that size. Bam, bam. But when Bronson Reed gets up there and just leaps off and hits that tsunami,
Yeah, you know you're done.
it is. I mean, I love that no one's kicked out of it yet. I'm sure it's going to happen, but and
Well, who
another
would you see kick out of it?
Cody. I could see them having Cody kick out. I could see them having Seth kick out. I could see someone kicking out. I don't think that anyone should.
I would
It's a
only
very
buy if it was
protected move,
Omos.
which I love, huh?
I would only buy Omos kicking out of it.
I don't think Omar should. I think, in fact, that should be someone. Bronson Reed, didn't he just win the Andre the Giant Battle Royal too? He won it, right? Right the night before Mania,
Russell Bronson? Yeah.
and they don't even talk
But-
about it already.
Well, because I have a feeling, okay, he wasn't supposed to win. I think it was supposed to be,
Omos.
I'm thinking to Jerry, but it's not to Jerry. The one with Chad Gable, the dancers.
Oh, Akira Tozawa.
Yeah, I think it was him
I don't
because they said you could clearly tell he was supposed to get caught and he got thrown over the head, and I think he was the one that was supposed to get it. Because after that spot, it very much seemed like everybody was off, and they threw an audible.
Okay.
I could be wrong.
Yeah. I think. Oh, well, Ivar also does some good top rope stuff for a big guy.
Yeah,
But going
he
back
does.
to that tsunami, I mean, he's so big. He goes up, and it's like it's a thing of beauty. It really is. And then not only the move, but like when me and my son are watching, Nathaniel loves it when Wade Barrett's enthusiasm. Oh, get ready, Cole! Everybody's about to get wet. And then he's up there and he's just about to leap, and Wade Barrett's like, tsunami, and he hits him. It's you know what? Like when I talked about with the Macho Man playing like 2K, and when he just picking Bronson Reed to do the tsunami, I just love it. It's fun, you
Yeah.
know, and it's devastating. And I could see him hitting people, and that's it. Like they can't kick out of it. That's what a finisher should be. You know, it's not. You know,
Absolutely.
It's hard picking finishes. I mean, and you might before you even pick your fourth one.
Yep.
There's so many to pick from, and if
Oh
you
my
notice,
God.
a lot of ours are very simple.
Yeah.
I mean, there's-
I think my final one, you're gonna be like, wow, that is really
I think I might
simple.
have a hint on what I think it might be.
I don't know,
but
I might throw a curveball.
But
at
they've all been simple. I mean, don't get me wrong. Seeing the 450s and Great Buddha's moonsault was an honorable mention. Again, we're kind of picking
Well, I got
specific.
two honorable mentions. One, Shawn Michaels' Sweet Chin Music.
Shawn Michaels.
Shawn
especially-
Michaels.
Yeah, okay.
Everybody else is
Well,
super
Chris Adams,
kicks, no.
yeah.
And I will say this. So on Hot Tag this week, we actually put a question back in. It was like, how is AEW messing up? I will say they finally got something right. Their last pay-per-view in the FTR match with the Young Bucks, okay, there was not one super kick, at least that I noticed.
Okay.
I didn't notice one. And for the Young Bucks, that was huge because they always toss about special things to Nick for that night. He knows why. Sometimes when you travel, the luxury gets cut out that you're supposed to have.
Yeah,
and-
Shawn Michaels super kick is
but
one.
Shawn Michaels, and as much as you might be like, what?
Is this an honorable mention?
This is honorable mention, and I was gonna make this a part of it, but because this isn't such a move, it's more of a pin style. The roll up, and the reason for the roll up is the one move that has won the most titles in wrestling history. Okay, it helped R-Truth become a 16-time champion for that company. But my final one, and I honestly don't even remember what it was called. I know there was a name for it because it used to be in the WWE magazines and stuff, which we're talking about this week on Figures R Us. But Big Boss Man's
Oh, the Hard Time Slam.
the high. Okay.
Yeah.
The Hard Time
Boss
Slam.
Man Slam, Hard Time Slam.
And all it was off the ropes.
Yep, it
Catch
was a
you
good
for
one.
a clothesline and just put you down. Kind of like a rock bottom, not really, but similar. Obviously, this came out before the rock bottom, but it was, to me, it was the perfect move because he was supposed to be a correctional officer. So if you're running in the hallway, he's picking you up, boom, putting you down, and it was effortless by him.
It's definitely.
And he's a Hall of Famer as well too for
yeah.
the Official Wrestling Museum.
It's definitely a good one. I mean, he did it. It was again when these guys do these moves. I've said it, a thing of beauty. Like
Yeah.
I've seen some nowadays. But I'm not sure his name. Butch, is it from the Righteous? The bigger guy.
Yeah, yeah.
His name Butch.
Is it Butch? I think so.
I'm not sure of his name. I'm sorry for him, but
I think it is. I'll hit up
he
the video
throws
right
a
now.
nice one with a spin.
Oh, Vincent, sorry.
Vince. Yeah,
No,
Vincent.
well, I'll hit him up
Right.
and ask him. I think it's Butch though.
Also, Abyss had the Black Hole Slam, which was a takeoff of the Boss Man Hard Time Slam. The Deep Six is a little different, what that Baron Corbin does, but yeah, Boss Man, when he would throw that, and he got better at it later in the years, but definitely, it
Yeah.
was a thing of beauty. Is it Butch?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, he does a nice one.
So what were you thinking I was going to go with?
I honestly thought you were going to pick Hogan's leg drop or Dusty's elbow drop, which,
So-
again, very simple, but
I
when
was
Hogan
thinking
dropped that
about-
leg and when Dusty dropped the elbow,
I was thinking about throwing in Hogan, just because what you said is so well known, everybody knows. But to me, so many people were doing leg drops. And what was his leg drop that kept you down? Macho Man's elbow off the top rope. Yeah, other people do elbows. Nobody delivered it the way
Yeah.
he did. You know what I mean?
and you think about like Hogan's leg drop, like obviously the most famous leg drop, but I would always think Yoko's leg drop was much more devastating.
Yeah, absolutely.
I wanted to pick something by Rey Mysterio, but the thing with Rey is that he didn't really have a true finish. Like
Yeah, he always kind of
moonsaults and Hurricane Ranas and stuff. I really thought that he deserved something on there because, again, him being one of probably the most influential of the cruisers and stuff.
Yeah.
I said earlier, Great Muta's moonsault was a thing of beauty.
For the Finger Four was on my thought process.
Me too,
but
it was.
Too many people
Yeah.
always reversed it. So
Yeah, it was for me. I also was toying with the idea of the $1 Million Dream, and I also
yes,
the
yes.
Dragon Sleeper is also a favorite
that was
of
another
mine.
good one. Yep.
So real quick, we can talk some more honorable mentions, but
Right,
obviously,
so
if we got our ring and we
got
got
our
the four
ring,
corners,
yep.
throwing them to one corner is the RKO
Yep.
/ Diamond Cutter,
We
and
got
to another corner is the
Macho's
Macho
own.
Man elbow drop.
Yep. So now, we agreed on 3 though, didn't we?
So I said Stunner. Yeah, Stunner.
Well, yeah, Stunner.
Macho Man's elbow
Yep.
drop. So the 4 I picked were Stunner, Macho Man's elbow drop, RKO, and the Tsunami.
Okay.
So-
and then I had.
You had the
Sharpshooter.
roll up and the sharpshooter with the other 2.
I didn't do the roll up.
You-
That was
oh,
an honorable
okay.
mention.
Okay.
Yeah. So I had the sharpshooter.
Yep.
Macho Man.
Oh, the Boss Man Slam.
Boss Man.
You know
Slam.
what? I'd throw the Boss Man Slam on there.
Yeah.
I
And you know
think
what? I'll
that
do
was a
this.
great one.
And I'll say the Tsunami, man.
Okay.
Yep.
So, I mean, it's
Even though Austin, I think, deserves to be there with his stunner.
Yeah.
I really do. I think the impact from a top rope move that is actually a finisher that's nobody's kicked out of right now deserves that spot.
Okay. I honestly probably thought that the stunner would be in there. I'm surprised you didn't pick the stunner because I thought it would be.
Well,
but
we still have one more spot though, don't we?
No. So we went.
we
with,
do?
so we got the RKO
RKO.
/ Diamond Cutter,
Yep. Elbow.
the Macho Man elbow drop.
Yep.
I said I'd go with the Boss Man
Oh,
hard time
so you're
slam.
gonna go with that one?
Just the way he did it. It's too bad that he never won any titles. But then again, his character didn't really need to.
No.
But when he would hit that, it was pretty much like a finishing move. Like we said, should look good. It should be devastating. When you see it, you know what? I can't believe that this move. Now that I'm thinking of it, I can't believe that we didn't say Jake the Snake's DDT.
DDT, yeah.
And, you know, I'm not, you know, Undertaker's Tombstone, but
That was another one that I was thinking of possibly.
I think that just so many people, it's a lot of these moves over the years just get
Yep.
watered down, like the super kick.
Yeah.
A pile driver was another one for me that was really gonna, when Jerry the King Lawler
Jerry the
or
King, yep.
Ravish and Rick Rude did a nice Rude Awakening.
Oh my
He also did a good pile driver. Paul Orndorff did a pile driver. Oh, just Andre's headbutt. You know, this Abdullah the Butcher's elbow. Was,
There's so many that we can really talk
Yeah.
about. So are you okay with
our final four
our final?
of four corners of the RKO / Diamond Cutter, which
Yep.
I like to say, the Macho Man's elbow drop,
Yep.
off the top,
So
obviously.
we got those two guaranteed.
and we said
This-
the Boss Man Slam.
Are we going with that?
I'll go with it. You picked it, and I'm willing to say
All right,
throw
yeah.
it in there.
Let's toss it in there just because it was so
Right.
It fit him so well.
And I've seen, like I said, guys doing it now, like Abyss doing the Black Hole Slam, and Butch with the
Yep.
spin they do. It just and if you want to go with Tsunami, that's hey, it's our four
All right,
corners.
that's
so
our four corners, and that's tough too because I'm not fighting for the sharpshooter, but Brett, and Brett's my man. He's my
I
go-to.
would have even said okay with that too.
Yeah, but then how am I gonna? So if we're battling between Bossman and Brett, that's a tough thing because Bossman's finisher really fit him.
I'm fine
and he
with
did
either
it with
one.
Anybody.
I think that
You know what?
I mean,
There
Brett
was-
did
there
it on Yoko, and he won a belt with it. So I'm
true.
fine with either one. It's your decision to throw in the Hard Time Slam or
We got to
the
go
sharpshooter.
Bossman.
Yeah?
Just
Okay.
just something about that move to me that just delivers.
Hey.
As much as I love Brett and his sharpshooter, and I think it belongs up there, it could be like a bird floating around.
sometimes these corners can be controversial too, you know.
Yeah.
So, you know
Yep.
that maybe we do it on purpose so that you'll write your comments in.
Absolutely, yeah. There you
Why
go. So we
why
got
didn't
some
you guys
spots.
pick Jake's DDT? Why didn't you pick the Rock Bottom? Why didn't you
Yeah.
pick?
Let us know who you will pick too, and we'll talk about on upcoming shows too. More interaction from you guys. the
That's why
better.
I think this was, you know, we said we had a lot of fun last week with the
Yep.
cruiserweights. I think this one was a lot of fun. I mean, right
It
away
was.
we agreed on a couple,
Yep.
but we also
Start to
even
yep.
thinking later, like, man, I can't believe I didn't pick Jake's DDT.
Exactly. And you know what I can't believe? There are some people that still haven't scanned this QR code that's been on the screen. Fans, if you guys could please, if you love wrestling, if you are a fan of wrestling, if you know anybody that is, or if you're just bored at home right now just watching us, please take out your phone, scan the QR code, and fill it out. It literally takes maybe 10 seconds at the most. It's totally free to do.
And it's cool. It's a cool
just
idea
to
to
help
have.
get National Pro Wrestling Day out there. The more signatures we have, that's more leverage. We're already reaching out to politicians in every state besides Rhode Island, because we were already locked in already in Rhode Island for June 13th. And these guys deserve it. They really do.
While Striker's overseas, maybe he's trying to get a World Day.
That would be awesome. You know what? He would be somebody that would be like that. He goes, "Hey, guess what I got? What? I got a National Pro Wrestling Day over here." Oh, how'd you get what? You know what I mean? But that's cool. But anywho, thank you guys very much for tuning in for us. You know, without you guys, there's no purpose of doing these shows, and we have a lot of fun with this. And if there's any certain topic you want us to do here, write into the museum, because I can guarantee they're always looking for some suggestions. Check out Off the Ropes this week. We're going to do our own style of the draft. Free previews going on with part 2 with us. Figures Are Us, we're talking WWF magazines. Yes, we said F there. Hot Tag, we answer your questions. And yeah, that's about it, right?
And I guess we say come back next week and see what we throw in the corner.
See you later, guys.